Well, I've decided to join the bandwagon and talk about Childish Gambino's video because I don't know if it was an algorithm or it really wasn't anything on TV, but I saw so many reaction videos to it. Like, I know I watched 20 of them at least. Even if I didn't watch them all the way through, I watched most of them. So, I don't want to do a reaction video. I do want to talk about the video because it's a really interesting video. Um, I think from what I've heard, and I even ran across an old interview where he was talking about he wants to provoke discussion, that I would just talk about the video. Obviously, some of it is about um, the current issues with gun laws, but what I took away from it was more about the celebrity of the video. Like, as a celebrity, I think it was basically talking about how his job really is to distract people from what's going on, that kids follow him, and it's a form of escapism. That's why we watch TV and movies and read books. Some of us, others don't. But that is what I believe could be an interpretation of the video. I wonder, was he, one of the things that I'm thinking he could be talking about, and again I could be very wrong, and until he clarifies it, it's just good for fandom discussion. Maybe he's talking about musicians. Maybe he's talking about how the beauty, the fun, the art, the craft of music has died a little bit because it's no longer about the actual music, whether it be the guitarist or whether it be the choir. It's about the guy who wants to dance. It's about the dancing man. It's about the man who's out there, not the real craft of the work. So, while others were thinking about um, the gun violence part, again, I am so very behind them with the gun violence thing. That's really sad and tragic. Watching it on the news, it really is unfortunate. Kids today have that added fear that, you know, the excess of guns is extreme. So, but like I said, I didn't want to talk about that part because I think all of the 20 videos that I saw, it's a lot of commentary on it already. So, and I'm not an expert on it. I'm not an expert on pretty much anything, but it's the reason for me to go there. So it's not about, that is obvious, that is looting behind him and stuff. But I think it may just, I think maybe it's like the Tears of the Crown video. Like, if your job is to entertain people all the time, then maybe it's really sad when you get a chance to reflect on what's going on yourself. So, I have rambled a long time. Okay, this is going to be cut down. Okay, the other thing I want to mention, besides the fact that I think the videos has a lot to do with maybe the saying that the craft of music making may be dead, is also that, well, that's one thing. I believe if we're allowed to just look at the video and take it literally, the dancing man has replaced the artist, the guitarist, the choir. that could be a literal meaning of the video. He's literally killing other forms of the craft of music making. Little kids are following the dancing man, taking pictures of the dancing man. And by them following him, maybe they don't have a voice they should be trying to uplift, trying to cultivate. They're just too busy watching, being distracted by the entertainment element of it. That's one thing. Okay. Second thing could be about drugs. He smokes the joint, maybe because he likes joints, maybe because, to me, honestly, I immediately thought about Michael Jackson, because in the scene where he has the moment of complete quiet, the kids leave him. He's finally by himself. He doesn't have anything distracting him, and he's able to reflect and smoke. Now, what he does next is walk over to a car and starts dancing on the car. That, again, to me, I just thought, I didn't know, was it that he was paying homage to Michael Jackson, or he was saying something about the inner sanctum of a performer, that once they need drugs, or they rely on drugs to get past that moment when they're really high performing, to when they have moments of complete quiet, that they need that to balance them. Not that I'm pro drugs, I'm just saying I don't know. I just thought, again, I immediately thought about Michael Jackson. I'm going to try to include some clips, if it would allow me to show you what I mean about how his dancing style, it wasn't Michael Jackson style, but the setup around it, like I said, the aesthetics of it, it reminded me of a Michael Jackson video. And of course, everything Michael Jackson done is pretty old now, but because he was such a instrumental artist, I think you can't help but see influences of stuff. So that's what I thought about. And the last scene, when he's running. Well, honestly, I naturally thought it had more to do with the fact that when you're not performing, people criticize you more. I think that's what it had something to do with, the fact that he's not performing for the people. When you're not performing, then you're like any other black man, and you're just running and trying to survive. And again, that could be a spin on the issue with paparazzi. But the horror on his face, which I've heard other people come in, reminds them of maybe a lynching face or someone trying to escape. Again, I don't know. This video has been so talked about that I'm sure that some of this stuff is as deep as everyone is making it. But I'm trying to, again, see, maybe not as deep as other people, just to see what could it mean. What could it mean? I The lyrics, he doesn't have many lyrics, and I think somebody already broke down the lyrics, so I'm not going into the lyrics part. But like I said, I think that last scene with him running has a lot to do with, at the end of the day, you're a black man. At this particular point, you're not dancing for people. You've already did your performances, so could it very well mean that at the end of the day, you're still a black man? So you, when you're not performing, you don't have a value to other people. Or if you're on a lighter note, you could think maybe it's talking about the paparazzi and the horror it is to never be left alone. Well, if you have any comments, I'll gladly respond, because it's been an interesting moment. This American video has been very interesting for what I've been able to read. I think in one post I said he's like a new Kanye. No, I said he was a new Kanye, and someone said, well, he's something else, and I said, well, maybe he's like an old Kanye. But I guess in one sense, some fandom want him to be his own man. He's childish, and let him be childish. He doesn't have to be like anyone else. So I can respect that. I don't have a particular any skin in the game, as they say. So it doesn't really matter to me. It's just interesting what I've seen and heard. A lot goes into this video, a lot of thought and consideration did, and because he hasn't taken the time to clarify anything, I just think he wanted this to be a conversation throughout the fandom, throughout the world, and he's done a great job. The violence initially made me pause, but if I tried to do a reaction video this time, it would have been staged because I've seen the choir be killed like 20 something times. Um, I've seen that man got shot in the head a couple of times. So, like I said, it's not as authentic as I would have wanted it. But I guess the lesson I've learned is if something goes viral like this, maybe I need to pull out the camera as soon as I'm ready to watch it. But by the time I was ready to watch it was maybe 2 or 3 days later. It was so many reaction videos. That's what I saw it through the reaction videos. And then I finally, maybe after the 10th person, I went on and just watched the video just by itself. But to be honest, it was so much going on in the background that I can sort of understand why people have to watch it so many times, because there's so much that's going on you wouldn't really know unless you took the time to, you know, go frame by frame, and you're not paying attention to the main event, you're paying attention to the background. So good job, Childish Gambino, for making us think about entertainment and violence and performers in the world we live in. And if you have a moment, please leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. I don't know what else I need to say. Have a great night. Please take a moment to like, share, comment, and or subscribe.